of a sudden, the atmosphere changes. You know, because the glory's there, God's delivering people. Like the hail and the snow's coming down in the spirit, and people are getting cold, and deliverance from demons. And what happens is, this cold presence comes up, and the congregation, now he's up on the platform like this, and the congregation starts to part like a sea. And this large man, like he's on an electric sidewalk, is coming toward him. And his eyes are glowing reddish orange.
Oh my.
And the people are parting as this wicked, evil presence is coming down. And he's not walking, he's floating. And he gets to the base of the platform and he levitates up. And he's staring Rob in the eyes. And Rob said, I could feel my hair stand up on the back. He said, you know, I'm not afraid of demons, he says, but this one kind of shook me. He said, and the Lord showed me in an instant all the perversion that this man had been in. And he said, and I won't share with you how Rob got him delivered, but I will say this, it was effective. Yeah. We're about fruit, right? Yeah. Smith Wigglesworth used to punch the tumors and they would shrink, right? I don't care if you swing your coat, you lay hands on them, you speak the word. If it gets done, it's done. And I don't care if you do all that stuff, it doesn't get done, it didn't get done, try it a different way. Anyway, he did what he was inclined to do. He didn't say the Lord specifically spoke it to him, but when he did it, he said Stephen King could not have reproduced what we experienced in that church, at that shrieking sound that came screaming out of this man that was levitating before me. He said, and he fell to the ground, got delivered of all the demons, was filled with the Holy Spirit, began to speak with other tongues. Wow. He said, safe to say, everybody ran out of the church, but me and the pastor and a few others. He said, we never took up an offering. He said, I know I'm in trouble, didn't finish my 7 points, we didn't take up an offering, and the church left. He said, I went to speak with the pastor because I knew I was in trouble. He said, I got in there and I was going to try to explain. He says, that was awesome. I've never seen anything like that. That man was in my office yesterday saying he wanted deliverance and he was confessing all kinds of things that he'd done. And Rob began to name what he'd seen in the vision. And sure enough, everything the man had confessed was everything that Rob saw. And the man got marvelously delivered and was delivered powerfully. Do you believe?
Yes.
These signs will follow them who believe. In my authority, my delegated authority, Jesus says, you, ladies and gentlemen, young and old, children, elderly in your golden years, greater is he in you than he that's within the world. No demon in hell has authority over you. You have authority over them. Final illustration, woman, 5'2". She's in New York City. She is a police officer. She is a traffic cop. And she has the badge, and she has the hat, she has the uniform, and she has the name tag. She's got the white glove. 18-wheeler, big burly 18-wheeler driver comes barreling down, and she steps out into traffic and she says, stop. And that man puts on his brakes. Not because she's a tough 5'2" woman, but because she has delegated authority from the city of New York. And if he doesn't stop, all of New York's finest are going to come after him. So when demons start to roar out of somebody's mouth, I don't care if you're a 5'2" woman. You've been given the badge of authority and the hat of authority, and you have the name tag. You, don't think I'm a heretic here, but your name is not James Rice. It's not John Smith or Sherry Cannoli. Cannoli, that's strange. It's the Italian story. Okay. You have been adopted in, and you have a new last name. Strap in for this revelation. if you're an adopted son or daughter of the Most High God, in the Spirit, your name is no longer Carol Smith. Your name is now Carol Jehovah. Bill Jehovah. Tom Jehovah. You're a little Jehovah. And that doesn't make you God. But if you're adopted in, right? If you're adopted by Bill Gates, and you walked in the 5-star hotel, and you put down your ID, hi, I'm Sandra Gates. What can we get for you? Right? They recognize, not because of what you've done, but because who adopted you.
Amen.
Amen.
So when the devil tells you he's not coming out, say, oh, yes, you are. And you're coming out now. I'm not going to argue with you. It's an established fact now. Come out in the name of Jesus. Or the rest of them are coming for you. The angelic host. Take authority over those spirits. For these signs will follow them who believe in my name. They'll cast out demons. They'll speak in new tongues. They'll lay hands on the sick. And they shall recover. Is it always instantaneous? No. Otherwise there wouldn't be a recovery time. Different than the working of miracles. That's another subject time for healing school number 2. Let us stand. Oh, hallelujah. Now watch this. I love technology. I love the 21st century. I just love that. God bless Bose. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn to the person directly next to us. Pair up. Or if there's 3 of you, go in 3s. You two, pair up. Pair up. We're going to ask the other one what they have need of, and we're not going to pray to God. We're going to release the already established will of God into the earth as it is in heaven. And if that's going to turn off, you can switch them out. That's fine.
Okay.
And you know what? Just grab that other one, because we want to film around the room as God begins to heal people. And if you have a neck problem, do you have any problems right now? Come on up. We're going to show how easy this is. Come on this side. Okay? What's your name? This is Amy. Say hello, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Amy, what's your current situation? You have floaters in your eyes. Okay, so she's going to get healed. What's that? And your ribs. What do you want healed first? You want your eyes? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and simply, see, we're prayed up. Right? Because I know we're prayed up because there's floaters in the eyes, right? The Lord spoke to me. Okay, and so Amy's just going to receive. She's not going to pray in tongues right now. See, sometimes you can block your own healing by praying for yourself when you're supposed to be receiving. Make sense? And Tam, could you go ahead and stand behind her? Because, there we go. You know, we don't want courtesy drops, you know? At the same time, I like to see people stand as long as they can. As they get filled with new wine, if you're used to this, you can hold your liquor. You're not used to it, boom, you're gone just that quick. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We already prayed to God. We've already got a word from heaven about floaters in the eyes. So just stretch forth your hands. Floaters, we curse you in the name of Jesus. We command you to dissolve right now. Dissolve. There they go. Dissolve, 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 dissolve. We eradicate you right now. Eyes, be clean, be clean, be clean, be clean. There they go. There they go. In Jesus' name. Now notice we spoke to the floaters. We proclaimed a thing in the earth after we prayed up. Job 22, 27, and 28. We prayed to God. Now we have authority to proclaim a thing in the earth that it might be established in earth as it is in heaven. We just say, dissolve